0.51. Oops, let me make it a little prettier. So the most important thing when adding decimals is that the decimals are lined up, right? The other one, line up the decimals. That means the 3 goes here, the 1 goes here, the 0, and the 8. And that makes it really simple for us to add, right? So we get 9, 5, bring the decimal down, 4 and 3, 7, and then 1. 4, so number 4 is 34.22 plus negative 18.5. They're not friends, right? So my answer is going to be positive or negative. It's going to be a positive answer. So what do we have to do when they're different? When they're different, we actually are subtracting, right? So we're going to go 34.22, right? Kingana, these guys. How many more do they have, right? That's, that's one way of looking at it. And then we're going to go 18.5. And then here, and I've changed colors here, we're going to put a placeholder, a 0. Now we're subtract. We need to do some borrowing, right? Oh, actually 2 minus 0, that's okay. But 2 minus 5, that's not okay. 4 minus 8, that's not okay. So we're going to go to the 3. So 3, we're going to ask for a little help. Becomes 2. That becomes 14. Pero, it's going to be 13. And that's going to become 12. 12 and 5 minus 5 is 7. Dot. 13 minus 8 is 5. And 2 minus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Sorry. So my final answer is positive 15.72. 6, again, 6.87 plus negative 31.6. Who's going to win, the positives or negatives? It's going to be a negative answer, right? So let's set it up. So we have to subtract. So don't do this. Don't do this. This is, again, decimal 0.6. Don't do that. Right? We're going to find the difference between the two. So we put the larger number on top, right? And then we're going to put 6, 8, 7. So what do we put on top of the 7? We can put a placeholder. And we're going to subtract. 0 minus 7, that's not okay. 6 minus 8, not okay. 1 minus 6, that's not okay. So we have to go to the 3. Becomes a 2. 11 is going to become a 10. It's going to be 16, which we're going to now become 15. And this is going to be a 10. 10 minus 7, 3. 15 minus 8, 7. 10 minus 6 is 4. And 2 is just 2. Final answer, negative 24.73. 8, it's negative 15.51 plus 8.55. It's going to be negative or positive? Friends, not friends? So not friends, and the answer is going to be negative. So now we're going to take 15.51, right? We're going to subtract these two, put decimal. 855. 1 minus 5, not okay. 5 minus 5, so if we can do this. You know what? We can do this. So if you do the 5, and let's say you go and you say that becomes 4 and this becomes 11, right? 11 minus 5 is 6. 4 minus 5, you can't do that. 5 minus 8, you can't do that. So we're going to go to the 0, to the 1. 1's going to borrow, lend, right? The 5's going to borrow from the 1. So this is going to be 0. It's going to be 15. 15 is going to be 14. And this is now going to be 14. So 14 minus 5 is 9. Bring the decimal. 14 minus 8 is 6. So the answer is negative 6.96. I don't know which one that was. No, 8. So we're moving to 10. 6.23 minus 3.62. So this one we can just subtract, or if you want to change this to a, right, you can do that. So if you're okay with the first one, you can just do it. If you want to change it to an addition problem. So 6.23, right? It's going to be a positive answer. Kingana, who's going to win? The positives. So 6.23 minus 3.62, right? So 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 6, that's not okay. So we're going to borrow here. That's 5, and that's become 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. Bring the decimal down, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So the answer is positive 2.61. One second, guys, sorry. What was that? So now it's 12. Sorry, you can always fast forward. My apologies. 28.94 minus 9.48. So I hopefully realize that when this is the larger number, this is larger, right? That's 28.48, and this is a smaller number. Then you can, if you like, change it to this if you want, plus negative 9.48. You don't have to. So now we can subtract. Right, so it's a positive plus a negative. Are they friends? No. Who's going to win? The positives, right? Son más grandes. So we're going to just subtract, find the difference between them. 4 minus 8, not okay. So a little borrowing here. That becomes 14. Minus 8 is 6. 4. 8 minus 9, not okay. So we're going to borrow, and this becomes 18. Minus 9 is 9, and bring the 1 down. Mm, 14, 16.61, and I'm just going to write it. Minus, and again, put a decimal, minus 756. Borrow, yeah, let's do some borrowing, right? So 1 minus 6, not okay, so this needs to be a 5. That's going to become 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. That's 0. This is going to be a 0, right? Go give him a little help here. So that becomes 16 minus 7 becomes 9. Final answer 905. 16. Let's go to 16. So 16 is 19 minus 6.92. 19 does not have a decimal, but we can add a decimal, which allows us to put a 0 and a 0 and a 0 and a 0, however many zeros you need. The next number is 6.92. We're going to write 6, right? Line up the decimals, and then 92. Do I need these zeros? No, but they're, if you needed them, you can write them. Now I can subtract. Needs help. So here, 9 becomes an 8. This becomes a 10, which is going to become a 9, which is going to become a 10. 10 minus 2, 8. 0. 8 minus 6 is 2 and 1. Okay. No idea what the number is. 18, 23 again, minus 21.45. So 23 doesn't have a decimal, so put a decimal. We're going to put 1, 2, and then 21.45. So here's my decimal, 21.45. Minus, little help. So we're going to get some help from this guy. That becomes a 10, which becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. Bring the decimal, and 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0, so we don't need to write that down. Are we? 23, what number is it? So now it's 20. I'm going to do 22 minus 18.63. So again, put a decimal. We're going to go 2 places to the hundredths place, and then minus 18.63. And again, I will write this 22 plus negative 18.63 if you want. Little help, right? We need some help, so we're going to go all the way here. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 12. And the 12 becomes 11. and this becomes a 10. And the 10 becomes a 9, and then this becomes a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 and 6 is 3. 11 and 8 is 3. Minus 8 is 3. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So, final answer, positive 3.37. Okay. 22. Anna swims the length of a pool in 38.45 seconds. 38 and 45 hundredths of a second. And then swims the length of the pool again in 42 and 38 hundredths of a second. What is her total time for the two lengths of the pool? So she went swimming. So she took 48 seconds and 38.45 seconds plus 42.38 seconds. So what was her total time? What's the total time? Well, we're going to add, bring the decimal down. 5 and 8 is 13, carry 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 2 is 10, carry 1. And final answer is 80.83 seconds was her total. Okay, so, and that's that.